Hi Will, how are you?
I'm good, Kieran. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you.
Have a seat on the couch.
Okay. Is your family doing well?
Oh, they're great. How about you?
They're good, they're good. So,
That's great.
I've got a little bit of a problem.
Oh,
I'm
what
looking
is
to
it?
sell my house, and I want to make the maximum profit that I can from the negotiation. But I don't know too much about negotiations. Can you give me some tips
Oh,
about negotiation?
Definitely.
Negotiation.
You've come to the right place. I can teach you all that you need to know. Let me just grab my negotiation book and we can get started. The first thing you need to know is that your preparation for negotiation is the most important part.
Really? Preparing for the negotiations is the most part?
Yes, even professional negotiators all across the world are not able to improvise through a negotiation. You need to be prepared.
Wow, I'm already learning stuff new. Okay.
Okay, so for your preparation for negotiation, there are 6 steps that you need to know to be able to maximize your profit. So I suggest you get a pen or a pencil.
Okay.
First, you must spend time on defining your interest. Then you need to decide what objectives you must achieve during your negotiation. It is important to remember these interests all throughout the negotiation.
Wait, Will, why is it important in your preparation to set the interest first? Like, why do we need to do that first?
It's very important to do this so you can maintain and improve the relationship with your opponent as you go through the negotiation.
Do you think the research that I've already done will help me figure out what the other party's thinking and some of their interests?
Your research will help you in the second part of your preparation,
Okay.
which is when you start to think about questions so you can discover what your opponent's interests are. If you prepare a series of questions for your negotiation, it will help you clearly understand what your opponent's interest and position on the current topic is. Once you have a clear view of their interest, it will help you shape your negotiation strategy. Also, the questionnaire you have can help you confirm your own information.
Okay, so when I'm making the questionnaire before the preparation, what are other things that I should try to uncover, that the question should try to uncover when I make the questionnaire?
The third step you should take in your preparation should be to analyze the level of trust you have with your opponent. Design questions for the negotiation that will help you build trust with your competitor so you're able to make a better deal.
What are some questions that can help build trust with your competitor with the other side of the negotiation?
Questions that help shape trust are things like data, experience, reference, common equities, and shared interests. Having trust with your opponent is very, very powerful and it will come in handy when you have big deals.
Okay, that's really good to know. But you said there were 6 steps, so what's the next step?
Let me keep going.
Alright.
The fourth step is you must analyze and reinforce relative power. You need to be able to confirm what the opponent is really interested in. When I say reinforce relative power, I'm talking about analyzing both alternatives. Make sure to find a way to tell the other side your alternatives to increase perceived relative power. While doing this, you always need to remember that you aren't damaging the relationship with the other side.
Okay, so I have a bit of a question. Do you think it is bad for me to come off really strong in the negotiation and let the other side know what my alternatives are right away and what I'm trying to gain from the negotiation? Is that like a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, yes, Kieran. You don't want to come off too strong and act too much like an alpha. You must build up trust at the beginning of the negotiation so you know that your opponent trusts you.
Okay. What's the 5th part of preparation?
The 5th part of preparation is you will need to make a list of all the best variables for the negotiation. You have to make sure to keep all these variables in mind as you go through the negotiation.
Okay. So wait, what are the variables that benefit the other side way more than the other? What are they called?
Those are called the magic variables.
Wow.
And finally, the 6th step in your preparation for negotiation is you must find the objective criteria that will help you show the value on the variables you made. Design and propose are the last things in your preparation for negotiation. You will design a base proposal from the variables and the objective criteria you've come up with during your proposal.
Wow, thanks so much, Will. I didn't know any of this stuff. But I guess if I follow all 6 of these steps, I'll be able to become a better negotiator and have a better chance at getting the maximum profits out of my house.
Definitely.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. I was happy to help.
All right.
Bye, Kieran.
I will.
Communication is a vital role in the negotiation process and is very important when trying to reach an agreement with an opponent. It shows how well you listen and how well you can communicate your ideas. It allows you to present your interest and position and allows you to learn what your opponent's interests and positions are. The first part to being a good communicator is listening. You must be able not just to hear your opponent, but to understand what they are saying and what they mean. Some tips that can help you to be a good listener are: be quiet, maintain eye contact, take notes, paraphrase to show you understand, and acknowledge their point of view. Asking questions is the next step to being a good communicator. By asking different questions, it shows your opponent that you are prepared and you are invested in this negotiation. Ask questions like why and why not to get your opponent to reveal more of their interests and positions to you. Asking what if causes your opponent to consider different alternatives. From this, you can start to brainstorm together to reach a good solution. Also, asking for advice prompts them to consider other alternatives. It is also a great form of flattery. Ask why it is fair to get your opponent to put themselves in your shoes and see things from your point of view. This is a kinder way of rejecting your proposal and to get more of what you want. Understanding your opponent is another huge part of communication. If you are able to do this, it will be much easier for you to make a deal that satisfies both your interest and your opponent's interest, so everyone is happy. A simple way to do this is just to put yourself in their shoes and see things from their point of view. You will be able to understand their position and their interest much better and to understand what they can offer you and what you can offer them to make both parties happy. Finally, how should you talk? You should always defend your rights and your interests, but not be too aggressive about it. Be assertive, but do not be rude. You should always acknowledge your opponent's point of view to show them that you understand, but not be negative towards it, regardless of your opinion. Here are some tips to convey your point well. Talk about yourself, not others. Focus on their options and interests. Speak your opinions. Never say but, say yes and. Remain calm. Always use short and concise sentences. With these useful tips, you will be able to become a great communicator. It will really help you in your future negotiations.
Hi Monty, how's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Here, come, sit down. Alright, so what do you want to talk about?
Bro, I have to negotiate with my teacher and get a better mark. Do you have any tips for me?
Yeah, totally. So the most important part of any negotiation is communication.
Nice. Oh, that makes sense. It's just how you talk, right?
No, there's much more to it.
Tell me everything.
Well, first of all, it's about how you listen.
Listening? What do you mean?
So, let me start at the beginning. You can't just hear them. You need to be able to understand and interrupt what they're saying, and interpret what they're saying. They'll reveal their interests and positions while they talk, so you have to be listening very carefully.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's important when you ask questions to ask why and why not to get them to reveal more about their interests and other valuable information. Asking what if, get them to consider different alternatives. Finally, asking why is that fair will get them to put themselves in your shoes and help you in the deal and help it benefit you better.
That is very helpful.
Next, you need to be able to understand your opponent.
How do I do that?
Well, you have to put yourself in their shoes and try to see things from their perspective to get a better idea of where they're coming from.
Oh, so I can get a better understanding in their interests and positions?
Exactly. There's only one more part of the communication property.
What is it?
It's how you should talk. You should be assertive, but not rude with them. You should also get your position of interest across very clearly and towards the beginning of the conversation to make sure that they understand what you want and what you can offer them in terms of this negotiation, like what they have to gain from it and what you can gain from it as well.
That makes so much sense. They need to be able to understand what I want.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all there is to it. That is how you properly communicate with someone during negotiation. I hope this has been helpful.
Thanks, bro.
Hello, my name is Sharma, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the main phases of negotiation and understanding them, which is very important when it comes to structured business negotiation. When discussing the phases of negotiation, there are 5 main steps or phases that you and your party should follow and proceed through in order to successfully negotiate a deal so that you and your party can come out with the greatest benefit that is possible or achievable in the certain case scenario and deal that you are trying to negotiate. So the first phase of the 5 phases of negotiation is a thorough planning stage. In this phase, it's your party's goal to uncover all information that they can regarding their own needs and what they feel they need to achieve in order for the negotiation to be prosperous. Also, in this step, it is very important for you and or your party to discuss all the needs of the opposing side in order to get a greater general idea of what they would like to achieve from the negotiation and what you and your party think they need in order to meet these needs. The second phase in the 5 phases of negotiation is the discussing phase. The discussing phase is very important because it involves asking the other side questions in order to learn more about their interests and see how they are very similar or different in comparison to yours. You are also looking to gather any information regarding the opposing side which is hindering their success or causing them to be in an uneasy state. You're looking to uncover as much information as possible in order to utilize it for the most beneficial and prosperous way possible. Now this is very important because if you don't pay very good attention during this stage, you can miss out on crucial information that could be useful in helping you structure a perfect negotiation and a perfect proposal which the party could accept in order for you to benefit from. Here is an example of 2 people. The first person is entering the discussing phase and is asking his opponent in the negotiation questions in order to gauge their interests and find out about any information that could help them in the deal. And while their opponent is telling them this information, the person asking the question is on their phone, seemingly very distracted, playing a game, not paying attention, and missing out on information that is vital to success.
How's your business? How's your family?
Yeah, I'm in a bit of a slump right now. My family, my wife, she's leaving me. My son, he's having a hard time at school.
Bro, look at that!
He's having a hard time at school, he doesn't really know what's going on. He's like, with his friends, he's having trouble. Everything's going worse. Even my business isn't doing well. People are coming and going out of our business. No one's coming through, no one's really steady.
So as you saw in that clip, he missed out on vital information that his opponent talked to him about and told him about, which he definitely could use to structure an even better deal. But since he wasn't paying attention, like he should be in the discussing stage, because it's the stage where you arguably need to pay the most attention, he's going to miss out on that information and won't be able to use it to structure an even better proposal. Third phase is where the actual negotiation begins to take place, and after planning out your strategy and gathering information, you are finally ready for the proposing phase. In this stage, you've gathered all your info that you and your party believe you need and are now ready to propose your overall thoughts in the form of an initial offering, which you have put forward to the opposing side. This phase is arguably the most important of the 5, as if you do not properly assess your gathered info and make an irrational proposal, you and or your party's offer could be quickly turned down in the bargaining phase 4, and never be able to take place. The 4th phase is the bargaining phase. The most important part of this phase, and the part that you and your party should be focusing on, is achieving mutual success. What this means is that in order for you and or your party to have the best chances of achieving a successful negotiation, you need to make sure that at least some of the opposing side's needs and wants are fulfilled in order for you and your party to have the greatest chance of closing the deal and achieving a successful negotiation. For example, say you're looking to make X amount of dollars, and the party is saying, well, if you want to make that X amount of dollars, we would at least want 10%. You can allow them to get that 10%, and therefore you're still winning because you're making the remaining 90%, and they're winning because they're still getting that additional 10%. So you're both gaining from this investment that you're deciding to make. The fifth and final stage is the evaluation phase. The final phase takes place after negotiation has concluded. It is still very important in achieving future success and must be taken very seriously. The final phase is generally composed of you and or your party looking back at the negotiation and discussing what ideas and decisions worked well and what ideas and decisions didn't work well. By properly completing this phase, you and or your party will be able to establish your strengths and weaknesses and learn from them in order to become better prepared for future negotiations, which will allow you and your party to become more successful negotiators. In conclusion, the 5 different phases are all very important, and each brings something new to the table when it comes to the world of negotiating. And if followed and executed correctly, you and or your party will become very successful negotiators and build on your negotiation skills more and more with every negotiation you and your party attempt. Thank you.